Are construction lead platforms worth it? In construction, one of the most important things that you have to do is get more construction leads. And in this video, I'm going to dive deep on exactly how to get leads, how we're helping clients get leads, and if a lead platform is the best way to go about it. Now, historically, what most contractors do is they do things like word of mouth. They try to get referrals from clients. And a lot of the clients that I talk to, they tell me things like, oh, I've been in business for 30 years. I get people calling me all the time. And that's really, really good. But what if you haven't been in business for 30 years? What if you've been in business for 5 or for 10? And maybe you've gotten by with a few referrals here and there. But what about if there was a way that you could supercharge, like literally put the boosters on your lead generation strategies? See, one of the things that we teach all the time is you have to fill your bid machine. We call our estimating department, we call it the bid machine. You have to feed your bid machine with as many leads as possible. And we talk about 4 different strategies to get leads. And today I'm going to talk specifically about using a paid construction lead platform. What happens is when you're a contractor, you're always looking for somebody to refer you or somebody to send you an invitation to bid, or like one of the methods that we talk about all the time is going door-to-door knocking. It doesn't literally mean door to door, but you're going to visit clients, you're visiting architects, you're visiting developers. Maybe you're a subcontractor and you're visiting GCs or construction management firms or whatever it is, or maybe you're calling, maybe you're emailing, whatever it is, you're doing your prospecting. What happens is contractors, they tend to always run out of potential prospects. And it baffles me why this happens, because we have these amazing lead platforms that will literally, they were invented to connect someone who needs construction with someone who wants to do construction. That's simple. So today what I want to talk about is the general idea of what a lead platform is. So some examples are like Dodge, the Blue Book, Building Connected. These are all lead platforms, and their sole purpose is to connect the owner with a general contractor, or sometimes it's an architect, or sometimes it's a property manager. But basically, like the end user or the representative of the end user is looking for a general contractor, right? And the general contractor is obviously looking for the end user or the end user's representative, the owner's rep, to do the work for them, right? And on the other side, the GCs, they need, in order to have a business, a general contractor needs subcontractors. He cannot have a business. Think about this. A general contractor cannot have a business without subcontractors. So he's going to need a way to find new subs, need a way to get new blood into his company, basically is the, to put it frankly, you need new subs to come in so that you can bid more projects, you can get more invitations to more proposals out, you can get more projects bid out at a better price, and a GC cannot function without subs. So the GC is going to post, so like on the Blue Book, their platform is called One Team. You can actually go there, post a project if you're a GC, and you're going to be able to check the little boxes. I need a drywall contractor. I need an electrician. I need a painter. I need a door supplier. Check. And you're going to submit the bid. And then what happens is the Blue Book has a directory of like hundreds of thousands of contractors around the country. And so they have in your area where you can select, like, I want, within 50 miles of 33196, my zip code or whatever. And they're going to go and send invitations. And if you're the owner, you're going to be submitting that to general contractors or construction management firms. Sometimes CMs are going to do work for the owner directly as kind of like an owner's rep. And if you're the GC, you're going to submit those things to the subcontractors. And what happens is now you have basically an introduction. So in the old days, the only way to get introduced to a new potential prospect is you visit them or you go to some sort of networking event or a mixer or something like that. And although I think that still has a huge place in our industry, these lead platforms are just going to kind of like shortcut. You're going to get a shortcut out of it, basically. So one of our clients that we were doing lead generation for, he was a masonry subcontractor. He was looking for GCs. So one of the things that we did was we did an experiment. We said, what if we run an email campaign to these GCs just saying, hey, my name is I'm a masonry contractor in the area. Can we bid some of your projects? Versus, hey, I'm a masonry contractor in your area. I know you're bidding, and then insert project name here. Can we, and obviously the project name was also in the subject line, so it was very relevant. So I did that. So we ran 2 campaigns and we just started sending them to the GCs. And what we did was on one campaign, we just basically went to Google and found all the general contractors in his area. We put them in an email campaign and we put them in our software that we use, and we started emailing. Boom, boom. It was like, it's an automatic way to do it. we started emailing them. It was on a schedule. And then we did the same exact thing on, but this time we just put the name of the project in the subject. Within the body of the email, we put the name of the project, and basically saying, hey, I know you're bidding this project. We're a masonry contractor. We're interested in working with you. It was like night and day. This list was barely getting opened, and nobody, or they would open it, but they would probably just delete it because we weren't getting that many replies from it. But this list that was more tailored to the person or to the specific scenario of the company was more relevant. We were getting a lot of replies. And this client, we actually won within 2 weeks of starting with him. We won him a Walmart addition project. And he's normally a residential guy. So for him, it was like a $65,000 contract or something like that, which isn't huge, but for him, it was massive because he wasn't used to doing projects of even that size. So that's the power of using a lead platform, because you're going to get connected with people that are bidding in your area. It's basically the equivalent of you going to mixers and shaking hands and passing out your business cards and all that stuff, except in this case, you're going straight to the point. Hey, I know you're doing this project. Hey, I know you're an architect and you're the senior designer on this new renovation project. I'm a general contractor. I'm interested in seeing how we could work with you. And now here's the cool part. You might not win the first project, but you have to think long term. You might meet this person or meet this general contractor or meet this subcontractor, meet this developer, or whoever it is that you're bidding for. And you might just get an introduction by either emailing or visiting and say, hey, I know that you're working on this project. And obviously you start the process by shaking hands, having some small talk, and that serves as like an introduction. And the first projects that you bid for a contractor or for an owner's rep or for a developer or for an owner, I always call them like audition projects. They want to audition you. They want to see what you're about, who you are, what you do. They don't know you. These first few projects are like the getting to know you stage to see if they want to award you something. And one of the mistakes a lot of contractors make, and I know this because I work with small contractors and big contractors, and a lot of the contractors, they call me and they're like these little, I remember there was one of my stucco contractors, he was a one-man operation. And then he sends me a project that was like 10 apartment buildings, like something massive, like a multi-million-dollar, like huge, something huge. And I call him and I say, hey, I don't know if like this is a good project for you to do because it's going to be very expensive to estimate, but do you know these guys? Have you worked with them? No, I've never worked with them. Oh, I don't know who they are. Oh, this is the first time I just got an invitation. I'm like, maybe we should start off with small to medium projects so you can work your way up to those, because you don't want to waste your resources either. You don't want to waste your money. You don't want to waste your time. And that's what happens when you bid the wrong projects. So by doing this, now you start being able to like get your foot in the door and meet people and start working with them, and maybe start with some small projects. And the most valuable question you can ask in construction, you always have to say, what else do you have coming up? That's the miracle question. Everywhere you go, hey, how are you? Oh, I'm bidding this job. By the way, what else do you have coming up? What else do you have coming up? Hey, what other jobs are you bidding? Hey, what other projects are you bidding that we could submit a proposal for? You want to keep asking that. When I used to work for a drywall subcontractor, we would go visit GCs all the time. And every time I would go, sometimes I would go to follow up or just kind of like to check in, you know, just to keep the rapport going. And when I was there, I would always say, hey, by the way, what else do you guys have coming up? And they would always say, oh, we just got this job in, or we're negotiating this job. Can you submit a proposal by Friday? And it's like they had jobs like lying on their desk that the only way that we would know is if we went to go visit them. So when you go and meet even these new people that don't know you, go ask them, hey, what else do you have coming up? This job doesn't really work for me because it's too big, or this job is too small, or whatever. But what else do you have coming up? Oh, we have these other ones. Hey, Mr. Architect, I don't really usually do residential. I usually stick to commercial. What do you have on the commercial side? Oh, we have these 4 projects, these build outs, these retails, these restaurants, whatever it is. And the what else do you have coming up question is so, so important. So make sure you implement that. So now what I want to talk to you is about 3 very important platforms. So the first one is the Blue Book. So I talk about the Blue Book all the time because it's one of the best platforms. So recently the Blue Book and Dodge have merged. So Dodge has been around for like 100 years or something. It used to be in a book, and I think the Blue Book too, it used to be in a book, and that's how they started. It was a directory where they would, I think it was literally a blue book. And what they would do is they would put just a directory of all of the contractors and the architects and or maybe even the project. I don't even know because I wasn't around those days, but basically they would send this book every month or every quarter to their subscribers. And that was the resource that people would network to each other. But now, obviously with technology, now we have it online. It's much better. They have the bid scope, and they have 2 very powerful things. One of them is the directory, and the other one is the bid scope. So the directory, what that's going to do is you're going to be able to get placed depending on what your membership is. I think most of the time you can start off with the lowest one, which is the bronze. Don't tell my accountant rep that, but I really think you don't need any of the bells and whistles until obviously you prove the concept that in your area this is going to work for you. But on the directory side, what you want to do is they're going to post your company so that your prospective client will be able to check the little boxes and invite you. At the same time, they have what is called the bid scope, where it's basically a list of all the projects going on under your classification so that you can take an active approach. So there's a passive way where you get invited, and then there's the active way that you get that you're going out there. There's the outbound lead generation. And the passive one you cannot control because you're waiting on a referral, you're waiting on people to send you an invitation. On the active side, you can actually go out there and go call architects, go call GCs, go call construction management firms, and push this, everything that I'm just sharing with you in this video. Go and introduce yourself, go and visit them, go shake hands, go have small talk. I'm telling you, that little small talk, the shaking hands, the inviting them to your office, the sitting in their in front of them for 5 minutes. I mean, if you drive to somebody's office and you say, hey, I want to meet your estimator, they usually have 5 minutes for you. I mean, if you're going to be bidding jobs, they're going to at least give you that. So don't underestimate the power of being active with it, because if you do it long enough, you're going to start getting favor with the estimators, with the project managers, and then you're going to get behind enemy lines, and you're going to start getting to know the project managers, the vice presidents, the principals, the senior staff, the people that make the actual decisions. Those are the guys that you really, really have to wine and dine, because those are the guys that are going to give you the most jobs. Hey, so what do you think of the Blue Book and the lead platforms? Go ahead and comment below. So now I want to share with you two more. The next one is called Building Connected. So Building Connected is free for subcontractors, but it's a really good resource. You can actually go in there, even if you're a GC, go in there. The trick is when you sign up, you check all the little boxes for every single trade. Check. I do drywall, I do electrical, I do plumbing, I do painting, I do flooring. So you check all the boxes so you get all the invitations to bid. And then on the title block, you're going to find the owner's information. So if you're a general contractor, you're going to get wind of a project. And what you do is, if they're on this platform, then the owner is actively needing bids. So what's the shortcut? Find out who the owner is or the architect and call them. And if you go on the directory, if you go on usually it's on the cover page or in the title block, you're going to see the project team. You're going to see the owner, the owner's rep, the engineer, the architect, the interior designer, basically everybody that's on the project. You can call them and find out who the person who decides is, so that you can go ask if you can be part of the project. And again, you might not get this one, but it'll open the door. It'll unlock that company for you so that you can start getting in a little bit more. Hey, if this is valuable to you, go ahead and like and subscribe, and make sure you get notified of future videos that we release. Next, I want to talk about Home Advisor. So we've talked about the commercial space. So now on the residential side, Home Advisor is a marketing company. So don't get this wrong. Home Advisor is a lead platform, but their main thing is they're a marketing company. They have amazing search engine optimization. They have really, really, really good articles that give you costs and things like that. So when owners type in cost to replace my roof or cost of renovation in my area, usually their articles pop up or their ads. So basically the way it works is the homeowner is going to click, they're going to see this article, and it's going to say get quotes in your area. So they're usually going to fill out the little form, put their zip code and all that stuff, and they get a lot of leads. And what happens is, if you're a member, you're going to be able to put a budget, and you're going to be able to say, oh, I want to spend $200 a month in leads. And they're going to push these leads to you. And they're going to also give the leads to you and all the other subscribers that fall under your same classification. So the trick is, the way you beat everybody else is you call the people first. That is the secret. I'm telling you, that is the secret. The first person who calls is almost always the one that gets the job, because that's the one that's going to get the first appointment. That's the one that's going to get in first. And then the other trick is you call customer service and you say, hey, I only want to use these zip codes. And you go on Zillow.com and you find out which are the higher income zip codes for that area. And then you say, oh, I want 33133. Oh, 33130. Oh, I want this. And then you exclude the lower income areas, because what happens a lot of times in lower income areas in the residential space, those people want unpermitted work. They don't care about using an unlicensed person. So basically, it's a very low barrier to entry that anybody can come in and just do renovation work. And that's going to be your competitor. And if you're a serious company, which you probably are if you're watching this, you're going to be competing against people that you won't be able to compete with on their price, because their price is going to be way too low. So don't do that. Now, if you're serious about growing your construction business, I prepared a free training for you that you can watch. I talk about how to get leads, how to estimate those projects, and how to close them. So go ahead and click on the link below, or go to iambuilders.com/training. And you're going to see, if you do this, if you use our strategy that you can literally copy and paste into your business, you're going to see that in the next 90 days, your business is going to be completely transformed. So go ahead and click that link, and I look forward to working with you on your future projects.